Hi everyone, welcome to Kats Creations live on Friday night. This is Friday, January the 10th of the year 2020. Just in case you're catching this at any other time and you're just discovering these lives like 10 years into the future. This is actually 2020. So tonight we're making a Irish Blessing Wreath, which is perfect because this falls in line with being able to put it up for St. Patrick's Day. And if your family has an Irish heritage, then you can also put it in your home and leave it up year round with anything else you have. So I find that if it has a dual purpose like that, it's more likely to sell than if you just brand this as a St. Patrick's Day wreath and incorporate things like pots of gold and leprechauns and stuff like that. But this one is going to be using a, trying to pull this one out. It is a cream. This is actually new to Craft Mart this year. It's a cream and lime green jute poly burlap mesh. So this is all natural fibers. It cannot be cut with the wood burning tool, so you have to use a rotary cutter on this. We're going to be doing all Cruffles, so it's 25-inch Cruffles of 10-inch Deco Mesh. I'm going to finish wiring up this frame so that we can go ahead and start, and then as we start incorporating different elements into the wreaths, I'll go through and tell you where everything came from. Like I said, this came from Craft Outlet. It's new this year. Knowing that St. Patrick's Day is coming up March 17th, you have plenty of time to kind of put together a couple of these. I would probably do one St. Patrick's Day, one Irish Blessing, and leave it at that. And then just see how those do in your shop. And then use those and market like crazy up until the end of February. At that point, if they haven't sold, they probably won't unless it's local, because 7-day shipping based on the size of the wreath means that they're only going to be able to put it up for about a week and then they have to take it down. So I find that people order way ahead. I think I sold my first St. Patrick's Day wreath this year at the end of December. So it pays to have Valentine's Day, Mardi Gras, and St. Patrick's done. I know it's hard to even fathom in December. So that's setting my stage for 2020 this year. So do we have anyone joining us?
Yep, we got Daisy, Lynette, Margarita, Jennifer, Audrey, Linda, Kim, Lynn, Kay, Kathy, Debbie, Maricel, Joanne, Karen, Judy, Caroline, Gay, Peggy, Deborah, and Patty. That's it so far.
Well, I want to welcome you to my kitchen. This is where I do all of my creative designs. It's because I have a, what is this, 12-foot counter, I think is what we figured?
Yeah.
It's a 12-foot counter and it's counter height, which is perfect because then you don't have back issues. So we're using a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. I just have this outlined in two different color greens, so just a lime green and then just a regular, I guess, standard green. So on a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame, we wire them pretty much all the same. I don't think, unless we're doing a rag wreath or a bubble wreath, this is the standard layout. So 6 sections, you're going to get 6 inner and then 12 on the outer. So we save the last section to always do on the live, which is wiring together the 2 inners. So we're going to do that real quick, just like so. So I use the 2 outside welds to kind of find a middle ground, and then I use this and the weld to wire together the 2 outside ones. So I think I have this right. And I just have them color coded just because I think it looks pretty. There's no other purpose in doing 2-tone green. You could do this all green and you're good. It's just for colors. And it helps me use up my lime green. Okay, so we're ready to go. 25-inch pieces. To do the Cruffles, you are going to work with your fabric curling the natural direction. And I usually start with the curly end. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold it to get your curl started, and you're going to curl it like 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I get chip clips because they hold a little bit easier. And then you're going to do the same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to leave it at 4. And then you're gonna ruffle or scrunch, which is just pull the rest of that fabric towards you, curl side up, and then we are going to be adding one of these to every single pipe cleaner. So I just start with one of the inside, and then I just keep going as I come across them until they're full.
So shout out to all the gals that are in the central northern area. KatsCreationsNMore said they're under a tornado warning right now, so be careful out there, gals.
Yeah.
Yeah, Judy said hello, good evening from rain and ice, wetting on the snow tonight.
Why, we just get perpetual sunny day after perpetual sunny day.
Hey, and Maurice is on. Hey, Maurice.
Hey, Maurice. Welcome to my live. So, if you are new to my lives, let us know that you are new, and we like to know where you're from, because out of all the people who join, a lot of times you might find out that there's another creative in this live that is within the same city as you. So it's always good to find creative people that live in the same city. You can go shopping together. You can save on big orders because you can just place one and you know, split the order cost if it's a big bulky order, or you're going to order wholesale. That's a great way to save. So do you guys have any questions at all? This is my basically Q&A time. It's a perfect time for you guys to talk while I'm basically doing the curls.
Debbie said first time watching live down here in Fellsmere, Florida. Loving your video.
Oh.
Fellsmere, you'll have to let us know if that's in central or southern or northern Florida, because we have a lot of...
Or eastern or western, right? Of the Gulf.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, we do have quite a few people from Florida.
Yep.
Quite a few.
Fort Lauderdale, from Jacksonville. We got a couple in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. So all over. So you never know.
Cheryl Danford asked, how much does it cost to join your private group?
Private group is $17 a month, and if you start now, it's a perfect opportunity because we're starting over again in our business classes, which are every Monday at 5. And if you can't make them, they're always recorded, so you can go back and watch them at whenever it's convenient, or as many times as you want, because you may not be ready at that time to move through that business segment. But we are starting Facebook business pages on Monday, and then on Sunday we are starting all over again with wreath making basics. So that class is just beginning this Sunday at 5 in our private group. So
Margarita asked, do you start with the inner and then go out? Or you just do alternate as you go on one side?
Yeah, I just kind of, like I said, for some reason I always start in the middle, and then I just kind of, you know, middle, out, middle, out, middle. I just keep going to the next one so that I don't forget them. Because if you just do the middle ones first, you could potentially forget one of your outside ones.
And then, so that Debbie said Fellsmere is East Coast, Central Florida.
Okay.
Which means she's got to be close to Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral.
Somewhere around there, maybe. I know, you know the area very well. 2, 3, 4. You're like, it wasn't by choice, right?
Yeah. And then, hey, we have a new country on here.
What is that?
Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Said hi, first time watching from Taiwan.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Welcome, Crystal.
Definitely welcome. So, okay, private group, $17 a month. I have yet to tally in 2020 how many videos we got through last year. I know that just for private wreath making tutorials, there's well over 70 different wreath making tutorials, like the tulip Easter carrot, the angel tree topper, which everyone asked me about, and all the videos from everything you could possibly want to know about starting a small business, from how to open an Etsy shop, how to open a Facebook business page, how to do marketing through Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. I think that's pretty much it on the marketing. We're going to get into some email marketing kind of what my pros and cons are about that this year. That's something new. So I'm trying to logically build on it. And then those courses I'm going to basically flip them, and then they'll be available to people who don't necessarily want to join the private group, but just want to buy like the 6-week course. And then you would just walk yourself through the video content. And then you're in and out as often as you want. So that's new for 2020 for us this year. To join, you go to KatsCreationsNMore.com. There you'll go all the way down to the bottom of the page once the page loads, and you'll see it. It says information about Kats Creations private group. There's 2 things you have to do there. Most people miss the first one because they see the big bold one that says request to join Kats Creations private group on Facebook. So they do that one first, and then they miss the payment part, which is kind of hidden, but not intentionally. It's just there's a description, and because the description box is so long and lengthy because it gives you all the benefits you get, there's just like a little hyperlink that says see more. Once you open that, you can see everything you get, how often the lives are. That'll always change in September when we drop the business classes and go full steam ahead because it's our busy season. But then you get a link to sign up, and then boom, you're in. And then
Wreaths that I learned a lot from watching Monday's live.
Oh, yeah, that was things you need to know before you go into business. Things you have to have ready before you open your Facebook business page. So logically, it made sense to do that class first.
Yep, and Sharon, we will add, like I said, I texted you or put on here, we will add your brother-in-law to our prayer list.
What's that?
She said she lost her brother-in-law, passed away on Tuesday.
I am so sorry. Trust me, I'm starting to experience, for me, the first time ever having, we lost Steve's dad in June.
Yep.
It's different though for me because Steve grew up with his dad his whole life, and then his parents were retired and kind of weren't close. So it's like we couldn't see them all the time. So it's like that person you see every so often.
Right. Not close family-wise, just distance-wise.
Yeah. But then when Nikki passed away on New Year's Day, that one it really hit home for me.
Our neighbor.
Yeah. One of my friends that had been battling cancer for the 4th time and finally went home. So that to me is just, now I understand, I think, the grief process a little bit more. Everything else has been standing on the outside and kind of watching other people go through it. So yeah, it's opened up a world of topics for Steve and I to discuss. Not that you ever want to discuss those things, but you have to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're almost done with our base. What do you guys think of this color? It's like a new color.
Yeah, a couple gals said that's a really pretty color for spring too.
I was thinking, I'm like, I only ordered 2 of it because I wanted to see them, and then of course you got to touch it and see how, is this the thin jute mesh? Is this the thicker jute mesh? This is the thicker. It's super nice. And what I have noticed is, even though I cut this with a rotary cutter, I'm not getting an awful lot of frays as I'm putting this in. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm happy with the way that this is.
Yeah, Judy said, I love this mesh.
I'll
It's
be
pretty
ordering more.
green. Yep.
I will be ordering. And I always say that. I'm like, I really don't. After helping the family go through a lot of stuff, it really made me come back and look at all of my stuff and say, we need to start using up what we have.
Yep. Debbie said just south of Cocoa Beach.
Okay. So you know right where that's at.
Pretty close.
Kind of?
Yeah.
Okay. So are any of you guys, do you guys put wreaths up for St. Patrick's Day, or are you just Valentine's Day skip to spring? That's me. I'm Valentine's Day skip to spring. 2, 3, 4, 5. But I will be putting them up because honestly, you never know where your customers are going to come from. Sometimes it'll be the mail lady who goes, oh my God, you change your wreaths all the time on your front door. Do you have a lot of wreaths? And you're like, no, I'm a wreath maker. Oh really? Do you have a card? And then that just kind of opens up another source for you. So best advertising is on your own front door. If you don't have one, why don't you have one?
Margarita asked, how many rolls do you need? Is this the roll and a half?
This is actually, I actually tabulated that. I think I got 14 pieces cut to 25 inches in the first roll, and I think I threw away like a 12-inch piece that was left. And then I had to dip into the second one for the last 4 pieces. So I'll show you.
So at least a roll and a half.
Yes, you have to buy 2.
Cut to 25 inches.
Unless you want to change your technique. If you do ruffles and do 20-inch ruffles, 1 roll will complete the whole wreath for you. I just wanted to do cruffles because I kind of like the effect that the curl aspect has in it, is that it kind of could almost replicate like the little clover, like a 3-leaf clover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like it when you get down to the end of your roll because, except for that part, it generally wants to roll on its own.
And then is this craft outlet mesh?
Yes. And it's funny because I was going to look at how much this mesh was. I don't think it was overly expensive. I want to say it was like maybe 6 at the high end. If not, it was like $4.95. Makes me regret the fact I did not get more, but like I said, now I've kind of gotten a little used to, sometimes when you look at a SKU number, you're like, that might be the thinner jute.
Yep.
One.
Yeah, Jane says she tries to put up a wreath for every different season. Libby says the same thing, one for each holiday. Daisy said that's what I've also determined. She's going to try to use up what she has this year first.
Right.
And then hi Wanda, she says up here under a snowstorm up in Spokane, Washington.
Oh.
We have friends up there kind of now.
Yes, we do. Well, they're not in Spokane. They're more like they're closer to the Idaho side.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Spokane is.
Spokane is closer to the Idaho side?
Yeah.
I mean, but Doug and Tammy are right on the border.
They're in Clarkston. Yeah. Wilhelmine said St. Patrick's is huge here, so that's awesome. Hopefully you can
Where's here?
sell.
Where's here?
Sell some good wreaths.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because I mean, if it's huge for you there, it's not for us here. Nothing is huge for us here.
And then Joanne says, I make wreaths, but yet my door is bare. LOL.
You gotta put one on your front door. I'm telling you.
Kathy, you got to make one for your husband. She said, my Irish husband would love a St. Patrick's wreath.
There you go. See, maybe after this, you're like, oh, that looks fun. And I really love the way that this feels. It's thick, but it's soft. So it's not like the overly scratchy like the regular poly Deco Mesh is. So we are all set. We're going to go ahead and make a bow for this so that we can determine how much our bow is going to impact. We're dealing with a fairly small sign, so this Bless This Home is, it is a 4 by, it's like 10 1/4. So 4 by 10 1/4, so it's a little on the smaller side. This came from Shinoda, so it is a wholesaler, but you can order from them online if you have a wholesale license or a seller's permit number or a business license. And then you can just order from them directly. I do not believe that they have free shipping. And most wholesalers generally don't, which is really sad. The retailers do, but the wholesalers don't. Okay, I'm setting this aside. And I'm gonna grab my Podabra. And the ribbons that we're using, let's see, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I'm gonna tell you all right now, all from Craft Outlet. So if you saw my post earlier, I think I did it just in the private group. When I went to do St. Patrick's Day wreath, I had literally, I think, I'm trying to do this much ribbon. This is all I had. I had like a 13-inch piece in the bin. I'm like, are you kidding me? Now I have to place an order and then wait a week. So all of these came from Craft Outlet, and then I'm going to incorporate a little bit of a darker, like an emerald green to this, just to kind of play off of the darker tones. So we're going to do the 2.5-inch ones first. You guys know me, I like to keep a really nice patterned one to the outside. I'm trying to debate which one I want. I might do it like this. I think that'll work for me. So this helps me figure out, this is the bottom, although I like this one better. I don't know why. This one's just prettier. So bottom 2, and then I always look for an intricate, very patterned ribbon to be on the top, because it's the one that you're going to see first. So we're going to start with this one, and we're going to do 10-inch tails, or a 10-inch tail. So the first thing we have to do is put a dovetail cut on it, which is just take the wired edges, put those together. We're going to go ahead and trim from the folded side right to the point of that ribbon. And I just use Betty Crocker Dollar Tree scissors. That's it. No fancy schmancy fiskers, no nothing, because they wear down so much from the wire that we use in the ribbon, and sometimes it's pretty thick gauge. So using the Bodabra, it's gonna just all be a twist. So you just twist it, and then you have this center section, so you just push it right down. So you always start right side fabric up, so that when you twist, now you're working with wrong side fabric up, so that as it comes around, it's making your first loop. And these are gonna be 5.5-inch loops, which is right where that's at. I just put my center section on the 10, and then just measure it out to how far it comes. And I'll do the same for the other side. So you just kind of eyeball it initially, and then just check your measurements. And then this way, when you go to fluff your bow, everything is the same size. So you don't have, and I've done this before, one loop is bigger than the other side. It just tells me I wasn't really paying attention when I cut that. So
anyone can order from Craft Outlet, but just giving you a fair warning, it's an $80 minimum, right?
Craft Outlet is, was it $89? I think they had the lower one. No, they have the $69 with free shipping.
Okay, so Craft Outlet is
shop
$69.
is $89 unless they go back to the $79 they ran at Christmas.
Okay.
So yeah, but I mean, if you watch the size of your Deco Mesh, if you don't order a bunch of 21-inch rolls, which puts it into a larger box, and you just keep everything in the 10-inch, you can get smaller boxes. So if you don't hit the minimum, then the shipping is not going to be enough to kill you. And they generally will ship within about a week. So if you order over the weekend, you should have it by next Thursday.
Yep. Hi Sandy, hi gals, just joining.
Depending upon where you live.
Yeah, Kathy said the ribbon's beautiful. I'll have to get to Craft Outlet.
Isn't that pretty?
They're only online though.
Yes, Craft Outlet is only online.
Yep.
So we're gonna do this one, which I love because the shamrocks have the green glitter in it. And it has just a touch of the white. So this is a 9.5-inch tail. I'm bringing them down each time I do a different ribbon type by 1/2 inch on the tails each time. So we're building the bow from the bottom up. And then this we're gonna go with 5-inch loop. So doing the exact same thing. And just pull that in so you hit your 5-inch mark. Do the same on the other side. There we go. And then we're gonna go 9.5-inch tail out. And then dovetail cut. If you get into the habit of creating your wreaths the same all the time, like how I lay out my bows, if I'm gonna do a pretty big bow for a wreath, which this one is going to be, then my layout is pretty much all the same. I know pretty much where 10" is gonna fall.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, Lynette said thank you so much for teaching us this bow.
Oh, you're welcome. So now this one's gonna be at 9 inches.
And then Deborah said, I just got my craft outlet box, and I think Kat saw my order when I ordered my mesh and ribbons. She got the same ones.
That's because if you just go and you do there's like little tabs at the top, and you just go seasonal decor, and I just go right to St. Patrick's Day. There's a tab for ribbon, and whatever pops up. I'm like, I don't want to go digging through all the green ribbon they have. I'm like, what do you have that's new for St. Patrick's Day? So this one's going to be.
And then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
4.5 inch. So 9 inch tail, 4.5 inch loop. Okay, now you can go.
Margarita asked, how do you know what size ribbons to use?
This is pretty standard for me. If you guys have watched me enough, you know that I love to do a 6 ribbon bow, just because it gives you enough opportunity to blend a lot of different colors and textures. Mm-hmm. So that's just my thing.
And she tries to use at least 2.5 inch, and then
Mm-hmm.
4 or 3 of the 1.5 inch.
Yeah, I'm just kind of building a good foundation, so using the bigger ribbon on the bottom just kind of works. It's just, there's no right or wrong formula. It's just the one that I like. It's like, I guess it would be my standard bow. So this one's really pretty because it's white with lime green shamrocks. They're kind of ombre. So the outsides of the petals are lime green, and then they turn emerald green on the stem and toward the center.
Yeah, Libby said, love that striped ribbon. It looks like it's two-sided.
It's not though. It's just like light green. So this one, what did I say? It's 8.5 inches. So I just measure it on my mat to 8.5. And then this one is gonna still be at 4.5. So these two will be the exact same. So it's easy when you got the base one, you just kind of put your fingers in it and pull. And then you can do the same on the other side.
Hi Mary, you said I love your bows.
Thanks. I like when it goes to fluffing them and teaching the bow making, it looks so much nicer when you do it on the board. But practicality is, okay, you're gonna do it on the board, then you're gonna pick it up, you're gonna put it on top of the wreath, and then you're gonna manhandle it while you're trying to get it secured to the wreath, and then you're gonna fluff it again. So why not just fluff it on the wreath and save yourself some time. It's funny how sometimes like this one felt way long, and I was like, no, they're the same.
I will tell her, Deborah, I'll zoom in when she does it again.
What's that?
Once you get ready to put your bow in the
Oh,
wreath,
okay.
how you lay it out and how you do your tail and your bow opposite sides, tail bow opposite sides.
Yeah, and if you guys want, I can just show you on the fluff box, and we can just show you how to fluff, and then we'll try to do it. The green lame came from Hobby Lobby this year at Christmas. So sadly, this ribbon is no longer available. So if you have it, this is where I was telling you, when you're buying your ribbon, always think about future holidays. Like,
Christmas.
not just Christmas, but St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And then this,
Easter.
yeah, I don't see the darker colors being more Easter, I see them more
But
summer.
the lighter colors, yeah.
So we're gonna do 4. This one's gonna be 4 inches, and then our last one will be 3.5. So we will make sure and 8-inch tail. It's like challenging to go, okay, there's the 8-inch. Always making sure that your bow dabber is centered before you
Now
start
we're getting
cutting.
broadcast interruption at a half an hour.
Hey, that's not us. So I don't know what's up with Facebook again.
Everybody's saying frozen.
What does it look like on your side? Does it show frozen on your end?
Yes, it says broadcast interrupted.
What the heck? Okay, log off really quick and am going to, what can I do while they're joining? I'll get the fluff box out.
Unbelievable.
I know. Now at this stage of the game,
This is every time.
I don't know, Steve. Let's
I know
just
that.
remedy the problem. Which is, I'll pull this out. So show them how to do that. My chip clip I don't need anymore. This